Hey folks, Post here, welcome back to another Pokemon Masters video, and even though I didn't really want to do this video, but people keep on asking, so alright, we'll go through it. So yesterday we went through basically the supports and tanks that are really useful in Battle Villa, and the reason why I didn't want to go through strikers is because there really isn't much point, honestly, because like here's the thing, strikers for Battle Villa, it's pretty straightforward. Just bring whatever's either super effective or use red. And also, when you bring something that's super effective, make sure it's not like, bad. Like don't bring like a, don't bring berry into versus the water type stages. Although you could do that, but it's gonna cost you a bit. So anyways, with that being said, I guess we could go over some if you guys really want. So, for the first stage, honestly, like the first few stages, all the way like up to 5, you should be able to clear it easily just with a Dugong. You don't even need like anything else. Just go Dugong or like some decent striker, red or Olivia. Again, every single stage, I'm pretty sure almost every single stage, you could just you could go with red and you'll be fine, right? But yeah, so I'm not gonna mention red every single stage. So yeah, the first few you could just go either Dugong or good striker, red Olivia, all that stuff, right? Sceptile, maybe Mewtwo, Metagross. Metagross might be overkill here. Like the battle's probably not gonna last long enough for Metagross to do much. So moving on, now you should start, paying attention to maybe some of the type advantages and stuff. So for Hull 6, it's weak against fighting again. Hull 6, like these stages, like especially for stuff, the stages that only have like one weakness, which means there's only like one set of enemies, right? These are really easy to clear with a really strong striker. Again, stuff like red or Olivia or whatever. It's not necessary that you have to bring in super type effectiveness in there, right? But you could use them anyways, because if you're going on to the boss stages or sub bosses, you'll need them anyways. So, well, you don't need them, but they will be helpful. So for the fighting week, Lucario is a good option. Machamp is iffy. Solgaleo, no, don't use Solgaleo here. Don't use Solgaleo here. Either Machamp or Lucario, unless you're not in a hurry. Like if you're fine with, just doing like 2 stages this day, right? If you're fine with only completing Hull 16 or not 16, 6 and 7, for the day, you could use Solgaleo. The thing is, Solgaleo, you just use up a lot of support, which is the problem. I just personally would save Solgaleo for like the later ones. But if you're progressing at a slower pace, which is fine, right? This event's here for a while. Then sure, go for Solgaleo. But otherwise, I'd say probably Lucario, right? Lucario, or I really don't want to. Thing with Machamp has like the same issues with an unboosted, unsupported Solgaleo, right? They just miss too much. I probably wouldn't recommend Machamp. Just go Lucario. Lucario's free from the story anyways. Moving on to Hull number 7. It's weak to Steel, Metagross, or I guess Solgaleo. Solgaleo is much better in this stage than the last one, right? Because Focus Blast accuracy is an issue. With Steel weak, you don't have that issue, so you can throw Solgaleo in here, Metagross in here. These are both fine. Moving on, Hull number 6. Houndoom should do you good. If you don't have Houndoom, just go with like a non-dark type strong striker. Again, stuff like Charizard, Olivia, Metagross, right? Maybe not Metagross. Maybe you want to save Metagross for the next 2. But stuff like, again, Charizard, Olivia, Sceptile if you don't have Houndoom. Moving on, Hull number 9. This depends on how far you want to go and how much are you willing to invest in sports, especially if you do have a max sync gridded superior to help out. So Solgaleo works really well in this stage and the next one. But if you don't, then you could still do it with Superior, but you'll just probably end up either beating Agatha or beating Sawyer, but probably not have much going forward. Same for Sawyer. Sogalio's decent here. If not, just use the other ones that you used in the previous stages. Stuff like Lucario, Houndoom, right? That you didn't, that still aren't dead from the previous stages. So moving on, this one, Dragonite's really, really good here. Biggest issue is it kind of misses sometimes. Well, it doesn't kind of miss. It has a 10% chance of missing. Sorry, Brimmy, which kind of sucks. Otherwise, if you do have a fully sync-rated Kingdra, that would be really nice here as well. Maybe Haxorus as well. Although I wouldn't really recommend Haxorus, but yeah, those would be decent choices. Hull number 12, blue should be fine here. Maybe. No, maybe to again. Just go with blue. If you don't have blue, again, just a good striker. Hole number 13, stuff like Scolipede should be fine. Koga should be good. I'd recommend Koga just because Koga is really useful for the next stage versus Lyra. So against Lyra, blue would be fine. Just again, these boss stages, just any of the units that you used previously that didn't die yet would fit the bill, right? So stuff like Koga, Blue, Lance, Sync-rated Kingdra, right? All that stuff. Same for Hilda. So moving on. So these are the easier hauls, probably. This one, Psychic Weak, go for Mewtwo. If you don't have Mewtwo, maybe Mew, I guess. Yeah, I guess maybe Mew. Why not? Would I use Reuniclus? Maybe. If you really just don't have anything else, maybe Reuniclus. Although again, I don't recommend it. Moving on, the next one, 17. Ghost Week. Use Mewtwo. If you don't have Mewtwo, then just use a good striker. Don't use Gengar. Do not use Chandelure here, especially since Chandelure. If you do want to use any of its any of its stat boosting moves, you're in trouble. So don't bring Chandelure, don't bring Gengar. If you don't have Mewtwo, just use a good striker, right? Moving on, Hall 18, Pinsir is really, really good here. And Hall 19, Tate and Liza, again, just the previous suspects from the past few stages should do well here. Same with Noland, and all the other stuff applies if you don't have any of those. Just throw in a good striker. Moving on to Hall number 21. Weak to fire, so go nuts. There's so many options here. It's unbelievable. Obviously, red, probably the best option here. Red's just so good. If you don't have red, don't worry. There's like a billion other options. You go a Sync-rated Torkoal. Sync-rated Torkoal should wreck this stage, and also very, very tanky, so you probably won't take much damage either. As well as Infernape, Sync-rated Infernape. At least get the accuracy for Fire Blast, if even if you don't have it like max synced. But Sync-rated Infernape should be really good here as well. I wouldn't actually. I was just about to say I wouldn't recommend Emboar, but maybe Emboar if you're like running a double striker comp, right? So you could like run 2 strikers. You could put Emboar on the side, just to use potion, or after the other striker dies, you could use Emboar to deal some chip damage if somehow it dies, because it's kind of hard, because most of the time your support and Hilda will be drawing out before that. But if you do get sync moved a lot, I guess sure you could use Hilda up there, but Hilda's mainly for the potions. Typhlosion, sure, why not? Typhlosion is fine in single player. Obviously it's not that great, but one good thing going for Typhlosion is, especially in single player in Balvilla, you don't really need any stat boosting moves. Like Eruption just does so much damage, and again with the mechanics of single player, your Typhlosion won't really be getting hit much. None of these, I'm not sure what moves this Venonat. Like, if it has like Sludge Wave, then maybe it could be problematic, but generally you should be fine from AoE attacks. Maybe there would be an AoE attack here or something, but I generally don't think that would be the case. But if there are AoE attacks in here, just Typhlosion plus like a healer, maybe like Charon. Just if you really just don't have any better fire type sync pairs. Next one, rock type. This is just Olivia fodder. Olivia will pretty much destroy this one, honestly. If you don't have Olivia, yeah, if you don't have Olivia, it's kind of tough. The other Lycanroc, Kukui's Lycanroc, maybe. Doesn't do... It's a tech unit. It's not a striker, but it should be decently useful here as well. So both Lycanrocs should be fine here. If you really don't have either of them, then just go with a strong striker. Don't... Or if you're willing to like commit like your whole day, like you know, your whole day's worth of tries onto the stage, then sure, go Rampardos. Rampardos is going to do a lot of damage, but it's also going to die afterwards. So let's be real there. Moving on, grass type, Roserade, Sceptile. These two should be really good here. So yeah, nothing else really. And then last two boss stages, same thing with all the others. Just pick up you know, any of these that hasn't died on you yet that you've used in the previous stages, especially Charizard. If you have Charizard would be really helpful here. So anyways, that's me for this one. Just going over all these, you know, decent strikers that you could use in these stages. Again, quick recap. Like I said before, the stage or the video, I personally didn't think this was that necessary, but apparently folks wanted me to do it, so it's fine, right? Just go stuff that's super effective, that isn't really bad. Like, don't pick up, like, don't just pick on super effective sync pairs. Like against like Hall 23, don't use Victory Bell. Like if you have like a slightly better striker, do not use Victory Bell. If you have like Torkoal Synchroted, don't use Victory Bell. Oh, Vileplume's another okayish option here as well if you really don't have either Roserade or Sceptile, right? Forgot to mention that. But yeah, generally just use good, strong, super effective strikers, or just a really strong overall striker like Red. So there you go. So yeah, good luck on these stages. Again, team comp is completely up to you, right? I already went over the tanks and supports in a video yesterday, which I personally think is much more important than strikers. Like, strikers are kind of whatever in Battle Villa. It's just more so how you play and organize your support and tanks are probably more important here. So anyways, again, that's me for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Good luck with your Battle Villa attempts. You kind of do need some luck. And subscribe if you're a new channel for some more Pokemon Masters videos. And I'll see you guys in the next one.